So here are some thoughts that I have about these kinds of considerations for our question. So turning to that issue of motivation, I think that this answer is going to be pretty obvious. So the answer to why it matters whether there's life after death is that, well, we're all probably going to experience like the practicalities of this question. So we're all going to die eventually, and that's going to be something that we all care about. We're all curious about what's going to happen after we die. But more than our own personal curiosity, it seems like the answer that we come up to about this question is probably going to change how we live our own lives. So, to take an example, if we're very confident that there is life after death of a specific kind, then it might lead us to change how we treat other people. So, for example, if I'm a Christian and I'm very confident that there is the Christian heaven waiting for me after I die, I'm really going to try very hard in my life to be good to people to make sure that I end up in that heaven. By contrast, if I'm really confident that there is no such thing as life after death, it might cause me to be really conscious of the time that I have left because I know that there's nothing else waiting for me after. Alternatively, it might lead me to question whether there's any meaning at all. And these are going to be some questions that we're going to talk about. So, a second question might be, how do we define death in the first place? And this is something we're going to go on to. So, death and life seem to be terms that are really going to be worth defining in this question, because if we understand how to define them, then it's going to make it a lot easier to answer this question. And it doesn't seem like we can simply rely on our intuitive understandings of these concepts. So we're going to talk about that in a second. And then the final consideration that I think is worth noting is whose life are we talking about? So is there life after death? So it's worth noting that this isn't specifically asking, does your life continue after you die? It's more broad than that. So one of the things that this leaves open the possibility of is the idea that, life in general continues after you die. And this is something that we're going to see as a more nuanced approach to this question taken up by a philosopher called Samuel Scheffler in one of our future videos. So look forward to that.